What's up, everyone? First up, Merry Christmas, and in this special issue of Motive Garage, we're going to give you an update on all of our project cars. Now, firstly, I just wanted to discuss a little bit about what's been happening with our project cars as a whole in 2018. Basically, we still personally fund the build of all of our project cars. So obviously, if our production company, Jet Multimedia, is really busy or we're traveling a lot like we were this year, it does make working on the cars a little bit difficult. And obviously, money can be a big restraint for us. But as our YouTube channel grows and we can get more funding, more sponsorship, we can make more and more project car features. So if you want to help support that with us, buy some merchandise, subscribe to our channel, share the videos around, because the more we get, the more videos we can make and the more you guys can learn. Now, first up, Jet 200's been pretty quiet in 2018, and the answer to that is actually pretty simple. We put in the VE headed engine last year and we got it running before World Time Attack 2017. We went to go tune it early in the year, but basically the problem we encountered is we thought, or I thought, and Jim thought that a GTIR oil pump would be able to provide enough oil pressure for the head, but we were wrong. You need a VE pump if you want to have enough pressure. Basically, we went to go tune the car. There wasn't enough oil pressure to activate the camshaft correctly, and we're getting all sorts of weird issues. So we then pulled the engine out at Red Sun, and the car had been sitting at Red Sun for the entire year, basically waiting for a newly developed Nitto oil pump. The guys from Nitto Performance Engineering said, can you please hold off a little bit? We're developing a billet oil pump, just like with GTR, but it will be able to fit all different SR20s, have enough pressure to handle the VE head, and basically be stronger and better than anything out there on the market, because no one makes an aftermarket SR20 oil pump. So we decided to wait for that, but it's taken longer than we thought. So basically Jet 200 is still sitting here with no engine. So what's going to be happening with Jet 200 in 2019? Well, we got a billet girdle from JHH, we got billet main caps from Mixed Motorsport, and Red Sun's going to assemble that bottom end with all those new bits, plus the Nitto billet oil pump. And we're going to squeeze this thing past 500 kilowatts at the wheels and max out the GDX turbo that's on it. What else is going to happen? I'm going to tidy the car up over Christmas. It may or may not receive a new look and new livery, but essentially just some slight revisions to the aero. Might try and find some weight to take out of it, but our plan is to go back out and beat Freddie's top stage S14 time around Sydney Motorsport Park. We'll just do that as soon as the car's ready. Are we going to enter World Time Attack is the big question. I don't know. So that you guys know the truth, it's a $10,000 weekend to compete. You have to commit to it early in the year because they open applications usually in April. It's a pretty big ask to commit. That 10 grand is just for the weekend. That doesn't include any breakages or developments. It's a pretty expensive exercise. If the car gets enough views on YouTube to help fund that, we will potentially enter. So we don't really want to say yes or no to World Time Attack at this stage, because we can just take the car to the track whenever we feel like it, take our own film crew and still make plenty of good videos. But we do plan on doing some pretty cool development with the car, some new coilovers, some other suspension upgrades, and obviously want to try and help educate you guys more about suspension, engine, aero, everything using this car in 2019. So big things to come for this car, we hope, and I'm pretty excited to get back behind the wheel because had this thing for a long time, 15 years and counting at the moment. So I purchased this Audi TT Quattro as my new daily driver. If you watch the video we did on it, you'll see that I didn't really go looking for one. It just popped up cheap and I bought it. It's been a great daily driver to have, very comfortable, enjoyable to drive. I think it looks pretty cool now with what we did to it. What are we going to do with it? Man, I'll be honest, I don't know. I might only hold on for a few months, sell it and try something else, or I may do something with it. A lot of people have been saying what engine mods are you going to do, but I originally bought this as a naturally aspirated V6 so that I wouldn't do any engine mods, but exhaust and nitrous is starting to call my name. Now, probably the most popular car on our YouTube channel is our R32 Skyline GTR. If you've been watching all year, you'll know that our stock bottom end didn't break, it got tired. We then went to go and do another stock bottom end, but that engine had forges in it. So we basically built a budget forged engine. It made 950 engine horsepower or 785 at the wheels, but a piston let go. If you haven't seen that video, we actually show you how to analyze an engine failure to work out exactly what happened. So what's happening now? Well, Jim and Con at CID basically politely said, look, we've got another 2.6 litre bottom end sitting here if you want to use that. So it's got Nitto rods and pistons in it. They've done about 1,000 Ks, and it's just a standard block. But we've sent that standard block off to Herman at Platinum Racing Products to get a Platinum brace installed, and we're hoping that we can prove to you that a standard block with a brace can handle some pretty serious power. So we've got that back now. The boys from CID are going to be building that engine over January, as I'm going to be away for pretty much all of January at Tokyo Auto Salon, Summer Nats and a few other places filming. And then we should have that bottom end back by the end of January. We've got a new head going on the car. It's pretty serious. You may have seen we mentioned earlier we had a full Supertech valve train going in. We're going to have shimless head, oversized valves. You know, we're going to be ported, massive cams. So we're going to see how much a change a big head does to it. We've also upgraded the turbo slightly with a bigger rear housing, and we've done the T51R mod, so it will sound pretty sick. Once we get all that back together, it's going to go back in the car. We're going to upgrade the fuel system slightly and basically see if we can crack 1,000 engine horsepower with that 67mm turbo, try and run a low to mid 9. What are we going to do from there for next year? Well, I'll let you know now what our plan is. We plan on doing a couple of intercooler tests. We're hoping we can do a 6-throttle versus single throttle myth-busted feature in 2019, and we're also hoping to put a new Garrett G42 on it. And who knows, maybe we'll aim for an 8-second pass with a manual 2.6 litre GTR. We're not going to make up records, but we reckon that's a pretty cool achievement or a pretty cool goal to have. As far as we know, there aren't any sort of stock crank, stock block sort of basic 2.6s that have run in the 8s. So we're going to try and do that with this car in 2019. So stay tuned, it's going to be a big year for the GTR. All right, next up, our WRX. Now, this thing has been a battle axe for us. It's done 2 seasons of the White Line Rally Sprint. It's been a trooper, other than that one little problem it had with some wiring causing all sorts of issues with the idle stepper motor. It's been super reliable. So what's our plan for 2019 with this car? Well, we finally, now that it's working again properly, want to upgrade the power with some budget mods. We've got a Haltech Elite 550 upstairs waiting to go in. We might put a bolt-on VF Series turbo or a Garrett or something on it small, upgrade the fuel system so we can go E85, and we probably want to look to changing the drivetrain because the diff ratios in this are terrible. I also want to fit an STI wing. Why? Because I love them. So if anyone out there has a 22B or version 5 or 6 STI wing, let me know. I really want one for this car. Now, a project car that we haven't started yet is our Mazda MX-6 Turbo. Keen viewers on our Facebook page would have seen it earlier in the year. I basically bought it on a whim, a very spontaneous purchase. Why? Because I had one of these as my very first car and I just saw it and felt like it. It's gonna be more of a restoration project. We're not gonna go crazy with it. Kind of treat it like a bit of a barn find and clean the thing up and get it looking cool, bit of retro. So I'm looking forward to doing that. When are we gonna do it? I don't know, when we get to it. All right, the last project car to talk about is Top Secret, and we will be announcing that probably end of January, I'd say. Don't want to give anything away, we're just going to leave it as a very, very big surprise.